Gotcha. She tapped the cover of the regulator with the metal end of the screwdriver, making a hollow tapping sound as she did. I don't think Dion is the man for the job. I think the job needs a woman, a tattooed female blogger put in. I like Jan. She's the one who can do it. The way she rewired that computer-controlled electromagnet was nothing short of genius. How about 2 leaders? Asked another woman, dark-skinned in a high-necked white cotton blouse. Jan and Gary are the nerd twins. They work together so well. I admire their teamwork. You think 2 heads are better than 1? I think that'll be a disaster. Gary can't make decisions. Fido, I need you to go ahead and handshake with the diagnostic computer on this combine and start up the engine, Barbara said, pointing. Monitor the phase interval. If this regulator is out, we should get a lot of ripple on top of, 13.7 volts right here at the input to the drive motor. Starting the engine, Barbara. Please be mindful of moving parts and sparks. Safety first, she said. She pulled her hands free of the engine and rested them on her hips to make certain they were out of the way. Her knack for understanding power systems included a healthy respect for what high amperage could do to human flesh. Barbara waited until she heard the whir of the electric drive kick in and watched the graphs of voltage and current from systems throughout the tractor engine on yet another hollow projection from Fido. Just as she had expected, a curve suddenly went sporadic and oscillated randomly about a dotted line, marking the optimum level at 13.7 volts. She nodded. That regulator was shot. That was really bad luck. Barbara, Fido said in his conversational tone, there is a temperature sensor warning on the high-voltage tripler rectifier for the right front drive motor. What? Barbara swiped at the projection in front of her to access the menu. She frantically pulled up the diagnostics for the gears and drives. On the third screen, she spotted a vibrational mode that shouldn't have been there. That could fry the whole system. Shut it down, Fido, shut it down. I'm attempting to override the power system, but there seems to be a malfunction in the interface, Fido replied, still maddeningly casual. The oscillating current is causing the motor to vibrate, due to the back electromotive force being induced. I get that. We have to shut it off. Dad will have a cow if we blow this motor. Barbara pawed through the canvas tool bag next to her with one hand, searching for anything that would do the trick. She needed to cut the power to the drive before it could go out of control and burn out the windings, but she didn't have any insulated wire cutters that could cut through the centimeter-thick cable. Besides, 50 amps running through the wire would likely weld whatever tool she attempted to cut the wire with right to the tractor, just adding to the problem. An axe would work, but she would have to run back to the barn to get one. The engine began whining, rising to a frequency that hurt her ears. She cast around, looking for any shutoff or switch she could close. Fido, this thing is about to burn out if we don't stop it. Shut it down. The PDE sounded infuriatingly calm. I'm sorry, Barbara, but something is wrong, and I cannot. You will have to do it manually. I know. Barbara thought quickly. She should call Dad for help. No, it was nearly dinner time, so he was back at the house already. He couldn't make it out to her in time. What would Dad do in this situation? The bright spark of an idea flashed into the edges of her mind. The idea was risky, but it could work. I got this, she thought. Fido, do you still have throttle controls? Yes, I do. She waved her arm. Kick it in. Full throttle on the front right side, now. Barbara, that will cause an overload on the power circuit. Do it. That's what I'm hoping for. Very well. Activating full throttle. Barbara swiped up the voltage and amperage graph in an adjacent window and crossed her fingers. She watched the thermal data with all her nerves tuned to high. The voltage continued to swing wildly, and the current rose like a rocket ascending to the moon. The vibrational modes in the motor continued to worsen, and the horrendous noise could have shattered glass. The motor will burn out before much longer, Barbara, Fido warned. Should I begin?